Greetings, citizens. Welcome to Hunter Ghostal Coast to Coast, where I, Hunter Ghostal, interview your favorite content creators from around the universe of the internet. Today we'll be talking to Conan O'Brien.
Hey. Wow. Wow.
Conan, say hello.
My name is Conan O'Brien. I'm 6'4". I'm 200 pounds. I displace 180 kiloliters of liquid.
Are you getting enough oxygen?
You've been drinking before the show again, haven't you?
Well, Conan, it's a long time coming. Your first huge celebrity interview. Are you here to congratulate me on the success of Hunter Ghostal Coast to Coast?
No. I'm actually a robot from the past, a crudely made robot from the Civil War. I've been sent 130 years into the future to have sex with you.
Well, I haven't bathed for a few days. Is that something you're sure you still want to do? I mean, I smell myself right here and it's not pleasant.
Let's get it on, my friend.
Well, if we're going to be getting it on, I'd like to get to know you a little bit better. Tell me about your backstory. Tell me some stuff about your life.
I was born in 1963 in Boston, Massachusetts. I can withstand up to 2,000 degrees centigrade of heat. I'm not exactly sensual, but I have a pleasant odor, a potpourri smell. Can you smell it?
Sure, whatever, you smell fine, but what about that other thing? How many degrees can you withstand?
I can withstand 2,000 degrees. Anything above that and I slowly melt and start screaming, like the guy in that first Indiana Jones movie.
Are you talking about Destiny?
Yeah, the Nazi. He melted.
Wow, I didn't know he was in that movie, but I know he's not on the air anymore. Kind of like you, Conan. You're not on the air anymore. Is that because your show wasn't very good?
My show was always beloved. I've never been criticized. I've always been loved.
Well, I don't know about that. I also don't know if my viewers will know who you are, considering you're kind of older and you're kind of straight. What would you tell a bunch of flaming fruits who would be watching that show? That's more my audience.
The only thing that's not funny when it's on fire is diced fruit. We don't know why. Diced fruit on its own is kind of funny, but when you light diced fruit on fire, it doesn't get any funnier.
How are you setting diced fruit on fire? Isn't it watery?
Interesting. There's a way. Let me explain. What you first do is let the fruit dry. That takes about 6 days. Then you cover it with kerosene, which is highly flammable, and set it on fire. It'll burn for about an hour, but then go out. Here's the tricky part. At that point, you have to cover it with sand, let it dry for at least a year, then engulf it in a different liquid, which is highly flammable, a hydrogen sulfate, and then light it on fire again.
I think you got the meaning of flaming and on fire mixed together. I'm more talking about really, really gay.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Let's just forget it. But one of the things that these flaming gays make fun of me for is being bald. Have you ever been bald before?
I've shaved my entire body to make myself smooth.
Like a Barbie doll?
Yes, like a Barbie doll. I prefer it that way. My clothes don't chafe me when I walk, and I appear very pretty.
Have you ever thought about growing your hair out long and living that fantasy?
Yes, I have thought about growing my hair long. When I was young, when I was about 14, my hair was very red. I grew it long and tied it with a bow on either side, and I used to walk from house to house and say, "Hello, I'm Pippi Longstocking." People thought it was funny until I was beaten.
Who would dare beat a pretty girl like you, Conan?
It was my father and my mother, which is an odd combination. Usually my father would beat me and my mother would say, "No, stop, he's just a boy." Or my mother would beat me and my father would say, "No, stop, he's just a boy." On that occasion, both my parents beat me, and I didn't hate it. It was kind of cool.
Are you serious?
I'm sorry, have I angered anybody? Maybe I should go.
I mean, I guess I could try changing the subject.
Come on, let's just forget it.
Well, let's talk about your accomplishments. What all have you accomplished that you're really proud of?
Well, I've accomplished a lot. My TV show is seen by over 14 people every night.
Hey, that sounds about like Hunter Ghostal.
I'm now making $600 a year.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like Hunter Ghostal.
These are far surpassing the dreams that I had when I was a little kid. But what I'd really like to be, if it's okay, is a male model. I think I'd be a great male model.
What makes you think that?
Let me explain why. My legs are very long. My torso is kind of muscular. And I think I have kind of a nice smile. So if I could get catalog work, Sears, J.C. Penney, I think I'd be a happy guy.
I mean, when you put it that way, I guess I could see it. I mean, people on the internet thirst over anybody nowadays, so I guess there would be a market for it.
I think there would be. I mean, I think my freckles are kind of endearing. Although some of them aren't freckles. They're sores. We don't know what causes them. We really don't. We think the not bathing has something to do with it. We're not sure.
Well, let's ignore your unachievable goal of becoming a male model and let's talk about my achievable goal of being best talk show host on the internet. How are you liking Hunter Ghostal Coast to Coast so far? What are you thinking about the episodes?
When you first came on the air, I thought, this guy hasn't got a chance. And no offense.
None taken, but have you even seen an episode?
It wasn't very good. It just wasn't. You were raw. You were unmolded clay.
Then why is my show on the air and yours isn't?
So I got kind of cocky and I took it easy. Then some time went by and my producer started to tell me that you were kicking our ass in the ratings. And there was a period of denial, and now I've entered the period of acceptance.
You're right, Conan. I'm better than you.
Well, don't be a creep about it. I mean, be a little humble. I just said you're better than me.
Well, have you ever thought about doing what I do, which is interviewing people, editing it out of order, sometimes, recording new interview questions, sometimes not even interviewing the person in person, sometimes just taking another interview and just interviewing that interview. Have you ever thought about doing that?
I swear to God, I really did think about it. And then I thought, I don't know, it's a little too edgy.
For all the gays here, which guy do you think has the best bottom?
Whose bottom? Fabio. Let me explain why. Fabio's bottom, as Earth people go, is not only firm, but has a three-dimensional quality that exceeds every other Earth ass. Bottom.
It's fine, you can say ass. Would you spank Fabio?
I think I'd spank Fabio's bottom. Fabio's been a bad boy and needs a spanking, in my opinion.
Do you have any interesting stories about you that people may not know?
When I was a boy, I was walking through a country field, minding my own business. I was walking along and I heard something whistling through the air, falling. And I looked up, and believe it or not, 1960s singing icon Eartha Kitt fell right out of the sky and landed in my arms. And I said, "Eartha Kitt, what are you doing here?" And she said, "Put me down, you white fool, or I'll scratch your eyes out." I couldn't believe it. Most amazing thing that's ever happened to me.
That doesn't sound that amazing. Anything better?
A couple of years ago, I was walking down the street. Not a field, but a street this time. I was walking along, minding my own business. And as I was walking, I heard something whistling out of the sky. I held out my arms, instinctively, because you think maybe I'll catch something. And right in my arms, TV pitchman George Kennedy landed right there. I said, "George Kennedy," he said, "have you tried Breath Assure?" I said, "Tried it. I buy it every day." We became lovers soon after that.
Come on, something more interesting than that has had to happen to you.
I was walking down the street one day, and I was holding my finger high in the air, when all of a sudden I heard a whistling sound out of nowhere. Just the air just screaming like something's falling out of the sky. I held up my finger intuitively. Guess what landed on it? Any idea? Game show legend Gene Rayburn landed right on my finger. From talk show? Oh, from Match Game. I'm sorry. I had a drink before the show.
Well, you've successfully bored me and the rest of the audience with your stupid stories about nothing. Do you have any last words, Conan?
I'd like to say that I think this show is very bad and should be stopped. I think you're a bad person, and don't take this the wrong way, but I think you represent evil, and your presence makes any kind of progress in the universe impossible. You are the one thing standing between mankind and something better. Do not take this the wrong way, but you are like a black hole sucking all quality and talent into yourself and turning it into negative energy. And please do not think I'm being in any way negative or critical, but you're a bad guy, and I don't like you or your smell. I don't like your set, and I wish someone would stop you.
Is that it? Are you done yet?
That's pretty much it. Other than that, have a great day.
Well, you can find Conan O'Brien at wherever the fuck Google tells you to go to.
What? Are you still here? I'm sorry. I thought the show was over. Has it ended?
Thank you all for watching, and until next time, shamatana. Bye.